Hi everyone, I'm Edita Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window Live. This is our first ever live show. I hope you are just ready, set, go for the most beautiful, fun stuff. Let me check with our crew. Yes, thumbs up, we're live. Yeah! I am so excited for you guys. So every week on Thursday at 11, I'm going to tune in to play with you with all my friends, quilting friends. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few quilts, a dozen of quilts usually, and we're going to talk about some things that I have learned as I was making those quilts. If I had some tips or something that maybe I have learned during the process. For today, I prepared some blue and white quilts. I thought it would be just appropriate. I know it's cold outside, and I am hoping that you come in and enjoy, sit down, grab a cup of tea, and have some fun with me. The quilts that I prepared today are from our book, Patches of Blue, and also there are a few that are just like my favorites. And I thought for first show, I'm going to bring it on to you guys. So Patches of Blue was a book that I published with Martingale, and in the book, we have 17 different quilts. And I took a block from some of the quilts and made it to a beautiful sampler. And that's the sampler that is right here on the table. But before I start telling you about the quilts and all my quilting experiences and everything that I do, I want to just tell you a tiny bit about me. I am a quilter. I'm an addicted quilter. I'm a fabric designer for Andover, and I create a bunch of patterns and just fun design. And I'm hoping that all my quilting friends join me and play with me and have fun making quilts. So I've been quilting for quite a few years. I learned how to quilt from my husband's grandmother, Anna Sitar, and she was just a doll. And by the way, is it 20 of January today? Michael, is it 20 of January? 21st of January. So it's close to her birthday, and it's also close to my birthday. So I think it's appropriate that we're starting this live show on a special day like that, where we celebrate Grandma. And I have to tell you, if you have a friend and you know how to quilt, share with your friend. Show them how to do it. You maybe start up something like Grandma did, start me on it, showed me how to make quilts. She showed me how to rock a needle and never to rock a family boat. She was just amazing. I'm originally from Poland. I have never seen a quilt before I came to United States. Once I got married to my husband, Michael, I was introduced to all the quilting and all the fun stuff because his whole family was quilting, and Grandma was in charge of a lot of that quilting bees in our household. So that's just a little bit background on me. Over the years, I taught quilting. I started making patterns, started a business called Laundry Basket Quilts. And the laundry basket idea was because Grandma had a basket that she would put quilts in it. So I took that and named my little business Laundry Basket Quilts. And now I'm here today in front of you, hoping to inspire you today with some blue and white quilts. So let me put the jelly roll. I have been playing with it as I was waiting for our crew to start our live show. And this beautiful jelly roll is from our Perfect Union collection, one of our fabrics that I designed, and it's available on our website. I'm going to put that to the side. We're going to talk about fabric in just a little bit, but let's talk about quilts and get you inspired and get you quilting. Hopefully you're going to find something exciting today in this show. So the first quilt, like I said, it's a sampler made from Patches of Blue. You can still go to our website, click on blog, and go to Patches of Blue Quilt Alone, and you can find all those blogs that we have been making together. I do this quite often, that when I have a quilt that I want to make a quilt, I make it like a first block. If I love it, I keep going and make dozens more. Or maybe one block was enough for me and I save it, and then later on, I put it to a sampler. So right here, notice the beautiful blocks. Starting in this corner, those half square triangles are always fun to make a quilt. They are just wonderful. And you have the half square triangle in this block as well as in the border. Those are small half square triangle, and two of them create like a zigzag, and you can keep going and put it around the border. Tree of life right here in the middle. Wonderful. Again, with half square triangles, basket and some applique always adds fun detail to a quilt. A schoolhouse right here, I call it a blue barn house, pines. And so to start, let me bring it closer. Look at moa appliques. Look at this beautiful bottom of the quilt. Oh, this is delightful. So making a sampler, it is so much fun. When I make a simpler quilt, I put my blocks together. If something is too small, I add a sashing around to fit in the area. So that's just a quick advice. But then it's time to quilt my quilt. So many times what I do is I use an edge to edge design, and I quilt it with all different designs from edge to almost create a quilting sampler as well. Notice how beautiful that is. Isn't it delightful? Well, if you make a nice blue and white quilts, you're going to end up with quite a few leftover fabrics. And many of my leftovers are many times low strips. And I love playing with log cabins, pineapples, and this is a pineapple quilt. And the inspiration for this quilt came from an antique quilt. That quilt is also in a book. Right here you have another pineapple antique quilt. But this one, what I did is just made a beautiful blue and white blocks. And notice when I designed this pattern, traditional pineapples, many times they're a little bit more pointier. I wanted a perfect circle for my pineapples. I love doing that. So when I designed this, first when I drafted pattern, it didn't come out. And I was just really frustrated with it that I didn't get a nice curve. And you know what? I put it to the side, went to bed, got up next morning, and I thought, okay, instead of drawing my pattern from the center, let me start from the outside. And then I was able to do it. And I came up with this beautiful, beautiful foundation paper where I use for this gorgeous pineapple quilt. I just love it. This fabric in this quilt is Something Blue collection. We do not have this fabric available anymore, but we do have Perfect Union and Blue Sky. And speaking of blue sky, another wonderful pineapple quilt, and this one calls Crossing Geese pineapple. Why crossing geese? Because you have those triangle flying geeses right here, flying geeses right through the quilt with a touch of red for center, just a little detail. And I use my Blue Sky collection for this one. It's one of the first patterns that I did. Isn't that amazing? Was favorite quilt of grandma's. She just loved this. This quilt calls on eagle's wings, and I love this one. When I select my fabrics as I was doing my quilt, I kept my lights into the center, and as I was going towards the outside, I choose the more creamier ones onto the outside of the quilt. And look what happened. What a beauty. Wonderful, wonderful quilt. And with this quilt, such a delightful memories. Few years ago, I visited a friends in Chicago and quilted with them at a retreat from Prairie Stitches. Some of you maybe joined me there. I hope so. This was just a wonderful experience. I had so much fun with the girls. If you ever want to do a beautiful pineapple quilt, use a foundation paper and make sure you visit our YouTube channel. I have a class on foundation paper. It's such a good technique. And speaking of triangle and paper, did you ever made triangle on a paper? Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. And you can just produce half square triangle. And what I like to do is make them on a paper, then swap some with my friends. So that way I get as many colors as possible, and I can swim in the ocean waves of half square triangles. Yes, I'm playing on words. This pattern, it calls ocean wave, and it's one of my personal favorite. I have to tell you, as I'm pulling the quilt, everyone I see, I'm like, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Don't you feel like this about your quilts? Every time I do a project and I finish and I enjoy it, I want to do it again and again, and I have so much fun. So this one calls Ocean Wave. We have the pattern available on our website. The pattern, the name of the block is Ocean Wave. The name of the quilt, Sea Breeze. And we have this in two different, Hunter. We have it in two different sizes, 1.5-inch triangle or 2-inch triangle. So with the 2-inch, bigger blocks, 1.5, smaller blocks. And I just taped a video on Ocean Wave. So in next week or two, you get to see this video, and make sure you tune in. I will teach you perfect Ocean Wave block. You're going to have fun, and you get to see the tiny little ones I'm making, the 1-inch Ocean Wave. So it is so sweet. Again, this time when I quilted the quilt, I chose the pattern that I set in on all the blocks. You end up with a beautiful, when the patterns come together, you end up with a beautiful design right here. And I did a little scallops on the edges. Look at, just nice and simple on the edges of this gorgeous Ocean Wave. This is one of my favorites. Oops, there you go again. See, my favorite quilts. Don't throw any scraps. Never, ever, ever throw any little tiny little pieces. I save, collect, and make quilts with every single tiny, beany, weeny, tiny little smallest pieces of fabric. And in this case, 9 patches, perfect little square to make, reuse any of your little scraps. This beautiful Irish chain, a lone 9-patch Irish chain, calls this quilt called First Dance, and I absolutely love this quilt. Again, I quilted it with rows, and here you have braids and you have feathers, and a braids and a feathers. It has that soft, delicate feel. This design is perfect for baby quilts. It's perfect for wedding quilts. It's perfect for beginner, advanced. Do not worry. What I love about this design, that I can make my 9 patches, trim them to the exact size, and then set them together in a double 9-patch setting. So see, this is the small 9-patch, and this is set in to a bigger 9-patch, then put it together into a quilt and create this beautiful chain look to the quilt. Always so breathtaking. Less is better, don't you think? I mean, just simple. Anytime I look at this quilt from any angle, it is just beautiful. And I tell you, 9 patches don't only have to be the center of attention for a quilt. When you want a little detail, what about adding a 9-patch into the borders between gorgeous applique? Look at this reaching up quilt. Oh, beautiful, stunning applique quilt. Isn't that delightful? Oh, forget it. Just turn around and look at this one. 9 patches, all different patches, 9 patches, straight patches, 16 patches. I tell you, do not look at the quilt as a whole. Just imagine tiny little 4 patches, little 9 patches right here, all these different blocks, and you have a gorgeous snowflake. Yes, you will have florets of scraps in your sewing room. I should have taken pictures of what happened into my sewing room after I was finished with this quilt. There was tiny little florets everywhere, but I tell you what, it was worth it. The quilt is beautiful, and I absolutely love putting it on our guest bedroom bed with just beautiful white pillows with a little bit of a lace on it. Stunning. But from such a light quilt, you sometimes want something darker, something more muscular. So using your blue as the background for a quilt, it is just delightful. Look at this one. Oh, New York Beauty, huge block. This is the block. Look at how big. You use templates, then you just do traditional piecing, sew everything, easy arches to assemble. If you want a nice showcase quilt, this block is for you. We have a New York Beauty and Honeymoon. Those are the 2 that we have, 2 patterns, and the blocks are the New York Beauty is the bigger block. Honeymoon is a little bit smaller. In a New York Beauty, I have 4x4 blocks. In Honeymoon, I have 3x3 blocks. And I love both of the quilts. They're just amazing. So many fun things to choose from. So excited about it. And this one is from our beautiful Blue Sky collection. Isn't it delightful? I love the dark quilts, especially for quilts, like when you use it on a couch and you want the quilts use it all the time. The darker ones are really nice. The guys especially like those darker quilts. So many fun designs to choose from. Another delightful quilt that I brought it for you today is our Patchwork Barn. Look at this, a 6-inch blocks. So many variety of blocks. Each block is made 3 times, and you sprinkle your blocks through the quilt. Remember, when you're doing a quilt, you want something familiar. So as you're looking at through all these busy blocks, having that same block gives you like a DNA going through the quilt. So sprinkle it 3 blocks. That's my favorite number. And by 3, if you make 3 of the blocks, you definitely master the technique. You learn something new. Go through all the designs. There are 24 different designs in this quilt. This is stunning. So let's have some fun with it. When I played with those blocks, and I did this quilt for my dear friends Alex and Ricky from the quilt show. When we did this quilt, we had so much fun. They had a block of the month that they did with it. I had to add the barn in the center and applique on a left and a right, and the applique, I fused mine and I blanket stitch around the edges. It is beautiful. You know, when you do fusible applique, you remember when you're buying the pieces that are already pre-fused, make sure you use some steam, because we use steam seam on the back of them. So you want to make your iron nice and warm, steam it up so your needle doesn't get sticky. And I just love using that non-stick needle and play with my appliques. I have to tell you, I love cutting things and playing, but if I have something pre-cut, I get it done really fast. And speaking of cutting and playing, this lovely quilt right here was one of my favorite quilts to make, because each shape was so different than another, because this is our little family album with all those beautiful shapes and little memories. And you can add some things that are familiar to you. So if you have 2 doggies, put 2 doggies. If you have a rooster, add a chicken to it. It's up to you. I have my kids on the quilt and all these fun things. I made this quilt in 2017, and boy, did I enjoyed it. Another quilt that I brought it today to show you is this one right here. Isn't it gorgeous? It's a Pinehurst pattern. It's so beautiful. Look at the points on this one. We have the pattern available on our website if you want to make this quilt. And before I let you go, last but not least, with every fabric that I design a free pattern. I hope you visit our website for some of those fun free patterns. And many times when I design a pattern, I think of pre-cuts. So in this case, I was like, oh, I love those layer cakes and charm packs. Let's do something with those. So if you have purchased cute little layer cakes or charm packs, you can make this cute little quilt. And this one calls Ring Bearer, and it is on our website. And I promise you some fabrics. So let's talk about fabrics. We have available Perfect Union right now. We have available the Jelly Rolls. We have a gorgeous Fat 8 bundles. You probably wonder what is my favorite pre-cut. I love Fat Quarters. I'm a Fat Quarter girl. I love Fat Quarters. I collect them. I stash them. Those are my favorites. Half yard Fat Quarters. But if I would have to choose from layer cake, charm packs, or Jelly Roll, I think I would go with a layer cake. Yeah, a layer cake is really nice. I can do a lot of things with layer cake. I can put 10-inch squares together, and boom, I have a quilt. I don't even have to cut it down. So layer cakes is a nice nice size for me. And this is a fat quarter bundle from Blue Sky collection. Do we have any questions? No, not yet. Our friends behind the camera are watching for you guys to ask questions. So please, please, if you think about something, you can send us a message, you can ask us a question, and I love to answer that. And I have to tell you, over all these years of quilting, I promise you, I am still learning, and I learn a lot from you, my friends. Where you ask me questions, you make me think about things and reconsider and rethink, how would I do this? Or sometimes you come up and say, hey, did you try this way? Oh, I tell you what, if I stop learning, no, this is not going to be a good day. I want to learn for a long, long time. I always look forward to learn. Now, I want to show you one more thing before I go.
So do you have a question? There's one here.
Yes.
Which batting do you use?
Oh, my favorite beddings are Hobbs beddings. I use Tuscany collection beddings. So if you want it, on our website, we have a little chart, and you can purchase the chart, and then you can feel those little swatches. But my favorite, Tuscany 8020. So that's for quilts like my Ocean Wave had that bedding in it, and you can notice it, the crinkling of the quilt. When I wash it, the quilt will crinkle really nice. For my quilts that I take to shows, I use oh, thank you so much, Michael. I like to use, this is the 100% bleach cotton that Michael brought it for us, but this is the Tuscany collection for quilts that I like to use for show quilts that I travel with it. I like the cotton wool mix beddings because they don't have as much of a crease when I fold my quilts and put them in a suitcase. So that's something to think about it. But Tuscany collection. And I'm glad you asked that. I am gonna post the blog, show you all the beddings on my blog, and then, or maybe next week live, I'm gonna bring the beddings in and let's talk about them. You can ask me all the questions and we can look at the quilts. This quilt right here, I can feel it. It has that bleach cotton in it because it's super thin. So I love to use that one as well. So for nice thin feel to it, I love the lightness. And if I want to show off some quilting on my quilts, I like to use the silk or the wool bedding to give a little fluff to my quilt. Before I let you go, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we do have a new block of the month, and I promise to show you first block from our new block of the month. The blocks are really nice size. They're 16 inches, but a lot of you ask me, is the whole quilt applique? No, lots of piecing. Look at it. All this is pieced, nice big shape. So one side, other, top. The only thing that I applique is this handle, and I'm going to teach you how to use bias tape maker to applique your handle, so that way you can have beautiful handles on your basket. So that is something that is coming up. Any other questions?
Can you go over the names of the fabrics one more time?
Yes, one more time, the fabrics. We have stunning Perfect Union Jelly Rolls. So Perfect Union and Blue Sky collection. This is a Blue Sky collection, and this one is our Perfect Union collection. So Perfect Union, we have fat eights, fat quarters, jelly rolls, half yard cuts. Also, we have layer cakes, charm packs, and our Blue Sky collection as well. Charm packs, layer cakes, jelly rolls, all the pre-cuts ready, set, go. And I am preparing a brand new pre-cut for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that next week, Thursday at 11. So tune in. This is going to be only available through our website at Laundry Basket Quilts. But I am making a new quilt. And as I'm making this quilt, I was like, why don't we have this pre-cut? This would be so much fun and exciting. Yes, another question?
I need to ask how many layer cakes for the ring bearer quilt.
for the ring bearer, if you do for layer cakes, it's the best if you go to our website, download the pattern, and it's right in the pattern. Yeah, it's a free pattern on our website. I believe it was 2-layer cakes, but I could be wrong. Believe me, it was a long day today, but this is amazing. And like I said, it's a free pattern. Let me show you. And I love this for a baby quilt. Let me show you just 1 second. If you do only 4 stars, it makes the cutest baby quilt or table topper. And you can reverse the design. I did the dark in the background and my sawtooth stars are light, but you can flip it the other way. It is a super cute pattern. Very fun, very easy to do it. Everything is ready, set, go. Get your pre-cuts, and the pattern is pre-cut friendly. Yes, any other questions?
One question here was, when's the live going to be?
Live Thursday at 11 o'clock, and this is
11 a.m.
Pacific time. So tune in 11 Pacific time, and we're gonna stream it to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And it's gonna stay on a YouTube. So if you miss it, go to the YouTube channel and you can watch it, our live show. And make sure, prepare your questions. I love to help you. Right now, we're a little bit stuck inside the house. We can't go and visit each other. Normally this weekend, I would be at the Road to California show, visiting with you, hugging you, celebrating my birthday, and having fun. But you know, we're going to do the best with what we got, and we're going to do a cute little show every Thursday for you with the most amazing quilts. And I am preparing some fun shows for you. Today we had the blue and white quilts, and we're going to have scrappy quilts. We're going to have triangle quilts. We're going to quilts with triangle shapes, not triangle quilts. No, there isn't. We don't have that. But we're going to do all different teams. Believe me, I got you. We're going to have some fun. If you ever want to see some of my antique quilts, I'm going to bring them out and show them to you. And like I said, one of my favorites, let's look at this sweetheart. And this one was in our book, Patches of Blue. Isn't it beautiful? And I want to show you something. You're going to love to see this because this is amazing. This is Patricia Cox, one of my favorite teachers in quilting. I was lucky enough, this quilt belonged to her, and I purchased from her to put it in our Patches of Blue book. And one more time, shout out to her, and special thank you to all my quilting friends that loaned me some of their antique quilts, and they're in the front of the book. Under each picture, it tells you whose quilt was it. So many times when I publish a book, I put some eye candy, I call it, quilt candies, in the front of the book, some of antique quilts, because guess what? We cannot move forward if we do not embrace where we came from and our history. So always embracing a tradition like quilting and honor the tradition, and then moving forward, creating your own designs. I think it's very important. I would not be here today if it would not be for Grandma's quilting lessons. So, and I hope you enjoy the show, and you're going to come and visit us again. Please make sure if you have any question, you need anything, you reach out to us at laundrybasketquilts.com. We have our customer service is amazing. My girls are just super excited to hear from you guys and girls. So make sure you reach out, visit our YouTube channel. And like I said, I'm going to see you next Thursday at 11 for